of us in a few weeks are going to be in the same friggin' place we were right now watching this live. And some of us are going to come out a changed person. And I 100% am coming out of this a changed person. I'm going to have a new skill. I'm going to have freaking systems in place.
Amber got started in our business actually years ago. We became fast friends. She's been working with us for a few years now, and she's been the #1 producer in our company, not just in my team, but in the company 3 years straight. She's out there leading by example. She builds a big customer base, and she doesn't just like get customers. She's amazing at keeping customers, making people feel a certain kind of way. She's extremely authentic, always shows up, and she doesn't just, do the typical like sales and network marketing tips. Like, she shows up. Those of you that follow Amber, you know exactly what I'm talking about. She speaks truth. She speaks from the heart. She leads with heart, and she's just an incredible person. So make sure you follow Amber if you don't know her already.
So it's just been a really big struggle for me. I work from home full time as it is. Now we've got kids who have homeschool. We got to make sure they're working out. God forbid they've had Doritos and macaroni and cheese for too often. Like, maybe that's just me. Okay. And then I'm like, my daughter's like, can I have the mac and cheese? I'm like, that you had for dinner 2 nights in a row? Yeah, no, that's fine. We as women are giving and giving and giving. And in the midst of all of this, we're forgetting who we are. I saw a ton of you saying that you're struggling in the same way. And it's because we're not taking time for us and we're not figuring this out. And so I want you to work your business. I want you to make money through this entire pandemic because you 100% can. But what is it worth to you? Is it worth is it worth your health and your mental health? Because it's not to me. And so I want to talk about giving yourself grace during this time. None of us know what we're doing right now. I promise you, none of us know how to homeschool our children unless you've already been doing it. A couple of things that I've done. We have just implemented an earlier bedtime. My kids know they don't have school, but I don't know about you guys. My kids are treating this like it's summer vacation. Okay. Like, we just go to bed when we want. Okay. And so we're in bed by 9 with them now so that mommy can go to bed earlier. We are up by 8:30-ish. We're sleeping in a little bit, but we're still getting up early enough. So in our house, we're now making sure schoolwork is done before, not breakfast. That would be terrible. We're making sure that schoolwork is done before lunch. Okay. My workout is done by 10 a.m. before we do schoolwork with my kids because I was struggling so hard by not getting my workout in. I was putting it off until 3, 4, 7, 9, and then it just wasn't getting done. And I didn't feel like myself anymore. And so my workout comes first. I love my children. Well, once a day, mommy comes first. Okay. There's a phrase that I heard somewhere and it says, keep taking time for yourself until you remember who you are again. And I think that right now, that is so important. If you're home with your spouse, you go out and walk for a half hour without those kids. Someone just said a 20-minute dance party. There's a million things you could do, but you have to get back to you, because if you come out of this pandemic and you don't remember who you are anymore, or you're so sad, it can't happen that way. It can't. Your mental health matters right now. And so you've got to focus on that. So what if you implemented systems within your home right now that when we came out of this, your home was together, your ish was together, and you could focus on business? And so what I mean by that is we're implementing, at night before bed, when we say, okay, it's bedtime, my kids go into worker bee mode and they clean up the first floor. Okay. Here's something my kids have learned this last 2 weeks. Maybe this will impress you. Maybe it won't. I'm impressed. My 5, 6, and 9-year-old can now fold all of their laundry and put it away. Okay. I literally separate it into their baskets. They take it away. So when I come out of this pandemic, guess what? I don't have to do laundry for 5 people anymore. Okay. When I come out of this pandemic, guess what I don't have to do? Clean up my first floor because my 6-year-old is loading and unloading the dishwasher. We're implementing these routines. For me, it's a few big things. Self-care. Okay. Whether that is reading, personal development, it is working out. I have a Peloton, so I'm on the Peloton. I'm not going to cry. We taught my son how to ride his bike without training wheels this week. So we've been taking them on bike rides. We've been playing more board games. We've been very, very present. Okay. So when my kids learn about this in high school, and they will learn about this pandemic in high school, like this will be in history books in 10 years, right? When my son comes home and asks me, like, dude, what was that like? He's not going to remember the shortage of food, the people fighting over toilet paper, all the stuff that I lose sleep over. He's not going to remember that. He's going to remember, dude, we didn't have school. We learned how to learn online. I rode my bike without training wheels. Like, that's the stuff my kids are going to remember. And so we're being really intentional with that. Yes, I build a business. Not everyone knows this. I actually own 2 businesses. I run a traditional business as well. I'm a doula, so I own a doula agency as well. So we've learned to adapt that business right now. So I run a business. I have a family, but I'm putting me first amongst all of this. And I want to give you permission to put yourself first, because if you don't, dude, mommy's not going to know who she is at the end of this, or daddy or whoever, but you need to know who you are. And so stay focused on yourself, do the self-care, learn the things while you're stuck at home, and set up routines with your kids. Make it a family affair. Like, my kids know we have routines for a reason. We all have our jobs in this house. Mommy's job is to shop. If I don't shop, we don't eat, right? So that's how they kind of feel about their clothes. If we don't put our clothes down, we don't have clothes. Okay. So I rambled, but I want you guys to remember that at the end of this, we're all going to come out of this stronger, 110%. Like, I have zero doubts about that. But do you want to come out of this stronger with your life still totally in chaos? Like, I don't. I want to take this time. I feel like God or the universe or whatever you believe in has seen how we've all been living, and it just wants us to slow down and take care of ourselves a little bit. And so that's what we're doing. We're slowing down. We're creating systems, because when the economy is back on track, dude, we're going to make so much money, and I will have systems in my house that I won't have to worry about it.
We all want to build a business, but remember why you're building this business. Why'd you get started? Yeah. Because you were maybe stressed out in your job or your traditional business, or not enough time with your spouse, not enough time with your kids. We can't allow all of that negativity to seep into us and say, I'm just going to curl into a little corner, let my kids sleep whenever they want, do what they want. We have to understand that, as bad as this is, we gotta grow through it. We've got to learn from it. And I love that you pointed out that we can be more present with our kids right now. We can slow down. I love that you shared all of that. And I think this is such an important conversation, because look, we can give you all the tips on business building and practices and what to say to people and all the stuff that we all talk about. But at the end of the day, if you don't have this stuff straight, you're not going to be prospecting. You're not going to show up on social media. You're not going to do all the other things.
Dude, I don't know about you guys, but I had to have a reminder set that I had this Zoom today. I have a reminder set to friggin' go to doctor's appointments. Like, my whole world is built on reminders of some sort. Why do we hold our kids to a higher standard than that? Like, why do we expect them to know if we didn't build a routine in them? Like, example, my kids, we get up, we have breakfast, mommy works out. They know that. Like, Maylee is 5. She's like, so you get on your bike? So she knows mommy's getting on her bike. Like, she will literally see me pouring the pre-workout. She knows what I'm doing, right? And then when I get off of there and I get dressed and cleaned, we do homework. And they know that if they can get homework before lunch, then after lunch, they can get on their iPads. And when they're on their iPads, where's mommy? In her office. And so you just have to create these give and takes with your kids, right? Like, if you do this, you can have that. Okay. If you don't do this, you don't get that. Okay. But, just have conversations with your kids. What's important to them? What do they like? What makes this easier? Because, guys, if you think it's hard for you, this is really hard on our kids to be stuck at home all the time, to now have to learn how to learn online. Like, it's an adjustment for all of us. And so give yourself grace, give your kids grace, and just create systems that work for you. And to close, I mentioned decluttering earlier. I just want you guys to know that every study on the planet that revolves around clutter tells you that a cluttered house leads to anxiety, depression, and a cluttered mind. And so if you were one of the people who heard, oh, I should be decluttering right now, dude, if you're anxious, you got to get rid of the crap around you. I mean, and I'm not talking just decluttering stuff, people, negative thoughts. I mean, there's so many things you have to purge, but I just, everything will function better if you can get yourself decluttered and you can get your crew on a routine. And you know what? If for the next 2 weeks you have to nag your kids to do their dang laundry, guess what? In 2 weeks, it'll be a routine and you won't have to do it anymore. I mean, who doesn't want to put their kids' crap away anymore?